Thank you. Sudbury is in a very unique geographical area. We're on the Trans-Canada Highway and we're at the top of the 400 corridor. It just makes sense that Sudbury is the hub for business in Northern Ontario. We have one of the biggest mining operations in the world, with the spin-off economies on mining equipment, mining technology, mining services. We can attract not only mining investment in this city, but all sorts of other businesses. The problem is we have obstacles to development. We have development charges that are way too high to encourage people to set up here. We have too much red tape and bureaucracy. In speaking with different developers, to get started in Sudbury takes far too much. We need to cut the red tape. We need to cut the duplication in service, and we need to start sharing our data and our information more readily online so people can search Sudbury as a place for doing business, a place for setting up. Right now, there are communities south of us that you can click on a spot online and see how much it would cost to develop that property. We have nothing close to that in Sudbury. Anyone I've talked to as far as developing, it's like going into Fort Knox trying to get information out of the city. The taxpayers have paid for that information. The taxpayers have paid for the collection of it and the storage of it. The taxpayers own that information. We need to start getting that information out. The use of the Economic Development Corporation to provide seed money and tax incentives is another way we can encourage businesses to start up. Once they're started, they're here, we'll get jobs off of that, and development will continue to spiral off of that. We need to do a better job, and we need to start now.
Thank you. I will work with City Council and City staff to create a business-friendly environment with a non-obtrusive business regulations. I will work to offer minimal taxes and tax breaks for hiring a large workforce within our community. We'll make significant investment in the community as is important to business owners considering one region or another. I will work to reduce red tape so business owners have more money and more time to invest in their business. Entrepreneurs move to cities where they know they have the best chance and access to capital and a skilled workforce. In order to carry out their business plans, investors and cities like to keep their money close to home. So I will cooperate with local businesses and professionals to create an economic development team. We will work closely with potential investors and promote the fact that our city invests in people and good ideas. We start with lower investment taxes, a stronger, more educated workforce, a more workable city, and we advertise on the www. Sudbury is not just local, we're not just provincial or national. We have to sell ourselves to the world. Thank you.
Believe it or not, to build a house between two empty houses in Sudbury, you have to start up with $14,000 to just peel to the city coffers. And then you have to buy the building permit and start building it. You've already spent almost $20,000 and you haven't done. This is ridiculous. Another thing, I would start by taking care of the businesses presently in our industrial parks. After hearing that Elizabeth Street businesses receive 30% of the required water to possibly put out a fire, they are prevented from expanding because of this fact. They are paying and have been paying their taxes as if the service was there. We have a similar industrial park at the west end of Caron. And is the city pushing for development in that area? No. I haven't seen a new business opening there in quite a while. To attract new business, we, the city, have to put out an incentive to companies to be seen on the radar. We can't just say, hey guys, we have the room. There's room all over Ontario. They have to be encouraged in some way.
So right now we know that new businesses are not coming to Sudbury, and we know the housing industry is at a standstill. So this means we're not receiving municipal tax revenue, Our industrial parkland is sitting idle, and developers are moving out of town because of the high fees associated with developments. So what I'm going to be doing is introducing and recommending a 3-point stimulus plan immediately and simultaneously beginning in the new year. First point, I'm going to suggest that we eliminate the development charge for new houses, apartments, and commercial development. Secondly, I'm going to recommend that we eliminate the fees that are charged to new developers for off-site expenses. What that means is they would only be required to pay for the infrastructure on their property. Currently, there's a development in Caron ready to go, but he has to put in $2 million before he puts a shovel in the ground. He would put the shovel in the ground if he didn't need that $2 million. What that is going to do is create an economic stimulus where we're going to get new houses built immediately, new apartments, new businesses. There will be new tax revenue coming in from the houses that we would have had to wait for years to be developed and built. We've really looked at the Sudbury Home Builders Association to come up with this information, and what they're showing is that we should have 300 more homes being built this year. We only have 200. That's 300 times $5,000 in taxes that could be coming in. So that economic stimulus, it may look on the surface as if we're going to be giving up revenue from development charges, but what we're going to be doing is getting increased revenue from municipal taxes that are ongoing forever. We don't have to wait years for this to happen. This economic stimulus will also create more well-paying jobs, stimulate the construction industry, and stimulate growth in the city. It's time to take action and not just talk.
Well, first of all, sometimes we don't have to reinvent the wheel. What is the Greater Sudbury area known for the most? Tourism and mining. We've got these facilities now, and we need to expand on those. But I think what we need to do as well is to put the emphasis on our tourism assets that we have out here. You know, when you consider the fact that we have over 300 lakes in the Greater Sudbury area, and that's something we need to emphasize. Whether we do it through WWW, we also have 2 colleges, one Francophone and one Anglophone. We have a university, we have a medical school of arts, we have an architectural school that's being built. Those are all positives that we need to highlight. But what makes us so unique is the fact that we are a multicultural community, and which also means our workforce is multicultural. We have a thriving Francophone community as well, so which makes us unique again. You know, what we've heard so far is that we need to reduce the red tape. That's fine. But you know, I've been going around the industrial park and other businesses and finding out what they're saying is that new businesses should, and I agree with it, that they should have a tax freeze when they first set up, because usually that's their most expensive time, is setting up and getting going, getting the business going. We talked about development charges. We have to realize that we can't eliminate them altogether because the development charges are part of it's a source of revenue. And if the city has less money, we have less money for our services. So we can't forget that. But yes, we can look at them to reduce them. There's no doubt about it. You know, the other thing we can do is that we can look at some of the recommendations that were made by in the auditor's report in order to save money. That's a hell of a good place to start from. There are some good savings in there, and we need to review them and start implementing them. You know, we want a research center with the hospital. That's what the hospital is called. It's called, just because I have a brain freeze right now, I'm sorry, but it's a science center / hospital. So we need to expand on that as well. But, you know, Mining Expo, thank you very much.
Okay, next question. Based on the services that are currently being provided, what are the strategies that you would implement to increase the value of our tax dollar? We'll start with John.